All right, I've never done this before, but I feel like I have to give a disclaimer to the following video. And that's because when this new Bilt Cash redemption mess came out, I looked at it and I had an initial reaction. I studied it, but I had an initial reaction. And I think it was visceral from within me because it was like, wow, I have so many coupon book cards, and this is the coupon book of all coupon book cards. And the following video is just absolutely a reflection on that. But after thinking about it, even though I've already filmed it, I might be making some changes. I might be reconsidering. And I think that's kind of the point of this. This Bilt stuff, I mean, it's so all over the map that even those of us who are pretty good at the travel game, even those of us who understand cards really well, we could change our mind because it is just that convoluted, that difficult, and it just requires so much math. So I hope you enjoy this video of my initial reaction to the values of this Bilt Cash business. And then at the end, I'll share how I might be rethinking some of it.
The Bilt rollout and the mess that it is just is the gift that keeps on giving. So recently, the CEO of the company came out and sent an email to everybody. I think if you're a current Bilt card holder or you just applied for the new cards, just like me, you probably just got the email a few days ago. And he said this, everybody's wondering what you can use Bilt Cash for. So here's what you can use it for. And they've been saying it's a dollar for dollar value. Well, it kind of is. If places were to tell you, here's your dollars, and you can only spend this much of it in this period of time. So I want to talk about this and whether or not I still think the Bilt program is great and whether or not the cards are still valuable. So if you would hit the like and subscribe button, let's examine it for just a few minutes together. Now, Bilt has come under a lot of heat with this rollout of Bilt 2.0 because at first they came out and all of their cards, whether it's the zero annual fee blue card or the Obsidian card at $95 a year or their $4.95 Palladium card, they all were earning, in addition to Bilt points, 4% Bilt Cash on every dollar spent. So that right there sounds pretty awesome, especially when they've been promising it's a dollar-to-dollar redemption rate. So that means 2x plus 4x would be 6x. That would be like the most superhero awesome card that had ever been developed in the history of credit cards. Too good to be true. And like my mama always said, if something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. And this was. So let's think about this Bilt Cash stuff. So he said, well, these are the things you can use your Bilt Cash on. So he mentioned a bunch of dining experiences. And all of them say things like $120 a year. So every single one of them has limits. You can't just build up all of your Bilt Cash and dump it all down on one $300 restaurant visit. You just can't do that. They're limiting it. What they're doing is they're making sure that there's going to be some breakage with this Bilt Cash. People gotta be spreadsheet warriors and coupon book it out. And I'm telling you, people have always called American Express the king of the coupon books when it comes to credit cards. They don't even come close. I mean, the gold card is about 8 times as easy to get value from as trying to do the coupon books on this Bilt Cash business. Because on the dining stuff, it's got like Grubhub. And Grubhub, $120 a year. That sounds great until you realize $10 a month. You can use up to 10 Bilt dollars per month. There's a coupon you got to keep track of. Then you get a GoPuff membership. That's $100. I think that's all at once. So I guess that's okay. You get free delivery with that. But then you get a GoPuff credit on things you buy from them. And it's $60. But it's not. It's $5 a month. So you've got another coupon. So now you got to keep track of a $10. And now you got to keep track of a $5 if you have enough Bilt Cash to purchase these things. And then you've got 2 different restaurant possibilities. You've got Bilt dining restaurants and then Bilt dining experiences. And I think one comes in at $25 a month and the other one possibly $50 a month. And all of that is 4 or 5 coupons just in the dining possibilities that you have limits on what you can spend your Bilt Cash on. And as I look at that, for me, this is the most useless thing on earth because there are no Bilt dining restaurants anywhere near me. I'd have to drive like 2 hours to get to one. I mean, we have a lot of restaurants in our area, but we're not in a major metropolitan area. So they're just not around here. And I'm not going to drive 2 hours to use a $25 credit every month, or especially one I have to pay for. It's not just a pure credit. I have to use my Bilt Cash for it. So that is just, I'm looking at this and thinking, this is the most, and Bilt's always been this way. They lean in towards the big cities. They don't lean in towards the average everyday American all across middle America. And I look at that and I think this is absolutely, absolutely atrociously bad. Then they have some other credits in some other categories. You can spend your Bilt Cash to get an extra earning on your card of 1x. I think it's set up to $5,000 of spend. Well, I suppose that could be a use if you had Bilt Cash laying around. For me, I'm not going to go to that trouble, and I'll tell you a little bit later in the video, but I'm just not going to go to that trouble. Of course, the original use of Bilt Cash is still there. You can use it to enable you to pay your mortgage or your rent and still earn points on that. And as we've said, to get the full value out of your mortgage or rent payment, you've got to spend on the card to earn enough Bilt Cash at approximately 75% of your monthly housing payment. So that hasn't really changed. I think most people are starting to understand and get used to that. But then they have other potential credits. $10 a month in Lyft rides. Okay, $10 a month. Then you could use your points for, I think, $50 for Black Lane. I like Black Lane. I use the credit on the Strata Elite, but I don't know. Maybe this would be one of the ones I would be more likely to use because at least it's $50. But are you seeing a pattern in this? They are leaning into breakage on this Bilt Cash. They're giving you potential to get, yes, $1 value, one-to-one value with these, but they're making it where you've got to be a spreadsheet warrior supreme to be able to do it. Now, I am a spreadsheet warrior, and I know I could get the value from this if I wanted to put the effort in. But when I look at this, I think, first of all, this Bilt Cash business is nonsense. But in addition to that, doesn't change the value prop for me at all when it comes to Bilt cards. This new Palladium card that I have on the way gets 2x, not counting any of the Bilt Cash nonsense. It gets 2x on everything that can be transferred to Alaska for Atmos points or to Hyatt. So the best airline partner, in my opinion, and the best partner for hotels, in my opinion. That right there is as good as any other of the standard catch-all cards on the market. And then, in addition to that, you can just choose their other option where based upon your spending, I can probably pretty easily spend as much on the card as I will pay in my mortgage payment every month. I don't have a huge mortgage payment, so I'll be getting the full 1.25% on my mortgage payment. So basically on my spending, I'll be getting 3.25 on all of my spending with the Palladium card. And you know, the truth is that I don't even care about this Bilt Cash stuff. I can't use it most of the time because I don't live in a place where there's going to be very much availability for these restaurants. And I do use Lyft sometimes, but I wouldn't be able to use that consistently. And I couldn't just save it up if I'm on a trip and I need 10 Lyft rides. I couldn't use it because I'm limited to $10 a month. So to me, this is just kind of comical because this Bilt Cash rollout probably does work for people who live in New York City or Los Angeles or San Francisco. And, you know, if it works for you, great. I mean, I hope it does. But for a lot of us, I think it's just going to mean, let's just use these Bilt cards to put some spend on them, especially the Palladium. It's a great value prop because you're getting the 2x anyway. And pay our mortgage with it or your rent with it, get some extra points back, and you've got a really a pretty solid card, even if you don't think about the Bilt Cash at all. So that's how I see it. I mean, let me know if you see it differently. Please consider my channel membership. It's $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. and I give special release videos for channel members. I also release my videos early. But either way, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the very next video.
So that was my initial reaction to the Bilt Cash release. After thinking about it some, I started to look at things like being able to, when we travel, I mean, I can't get Bilt restaurants locally, but we do travel a lot, and getting 25 bucks for some of that would make the card a little bit more valuable. And then I considered things like upping my transfer bonus ratio by upping my status for that transfer bonus. Wow, when I did the math, that's pretty good. And so there are several things. Luke, one of his videos at Luke's Points and Miles, he's gonna use the Bilt Cash to get that extra 1x. I'm not sure about that yet because the actual return on that Bilt Cash isn't very good. But is Bilt Cash real money? Does return really matter? Gonna have to think about it. So this whole video may be obsolete because I may have to redo it all. But that's kind of the nature of this Bilt stuff. So thanks for being here. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you here next time.